What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and it's the early hours of Wednesday morning, so we are 3 days out from Men's Pro Singles, wow Men's Pro, Hyrox London, and it's been about 18 months since I've done Hyrox, so I'm about to show you some training that I did on Monday, and then after the footage I'm going to explain how I'm prepping for the Hyrox race, what I'm going to do during the race, what I need to improve on for last time, and just give you a quick overview to see if you fancy trying it in the future. I think I've just found myself my #1 representative for Albert Aldridge Fitness, the Nutrition Coach YouTube channel. Anyway, in the first part of this session, we only had about 20 minutes before the class started, so I just wanted to do some snatches because I hadn't done them in a while. And it's really funny because with the Olympic lifting, it always feels worse than it looks. My Olympic lifting isn't great, but the 70 kilos beforehand and this 80 kilos felt awful and really, really heavy. And before this 90 kilos, I did quite a lot of fails, and it's just because sometimes find my confidence isn't great with the snatch, but I had done a lot of training beforehand just because of how my personal training hours work, and when I can train, I always do bodybuilding sessions before Olympic lifting, which is not optimal, but it was still great fun. Then going into the class, we did 4 sets of 8 reps push press, and we're aiming for roughly 70% of your 1 rep max. My 1 rep max is 105 kilos, but I haven't tested that in a while, so I anticipate it would be now 110 kilos. And I do find it's good fun, and these did feel heavy, like I said, just because of doing training beforehand. But I did 75 kilos for 4 sets of 8 reps every 2 minutes, so that felt pretty good. And then the burner, the finisher, the one to separate the men from the boys. I'm showing you the last round here. 3 rounds of 10 power cleans at 50 kilos into 10 burpees over the bar. And don't worry, Sam is going to move herself in a minute. She's the box owner alongside the other box owner, Liam. They are two both great legends. So 10 burpees over the bar. Then you do 10 thrusters with the 50 kilo bar. And then 10 lateral crouch jumps over the bar. So you're doing that for 3 rounds. I tried to go at a very nice and steady pace. I was thinking of trying every 2 minutes, but actually I did the first round in 1 minute 41, and that was feeling quite toasty already because my legs were quite fried from the other training I've been doing beforehand. So I think I did the first round in 1 minute 41. And then I was going to rest for the 2 minutes, but I was like, no, Albert, set off early here. So I started round 2 at 1 minute 51, I think. And then I think by the end of the second round, we were approaching probably the 3 minute 55 mark. So I was kind of on pace, but I did start to slow down a bit. And lateral crouch jumps, it seems like a simple movement, but it really did get me for some reason. I have no idea why. So the last round, I tried to send it, and I didn't want to drop the bar at all, but I had to break the thrusters up into 2 lots of 5, which was absolutely fine. But I tried to hold on, and I would have got sub 6 minutes if I managed to hold on to the thrusters, but I didn't. So I managed to get in the end 6 minutes and 6 seconds. And this is all in the build-up to the CrossFit Open, these style of workouts, because it's really cardiovascular taxing, shorter time domain. Not like a Hyrox, which is a longer time domain, which you're going to hear about in a little bit. But CrossFit Open this year, I'm going to be talking more about it in another video, but it's a different format. So we're doing the CrossFit Open, which will be across 3 weeks. And then it goes straight into a semi-finals, run the quarterfinals. But I've basically got to try and build myself up. Sorry, I had to include that dramatic end to the workout because I'm always such a drama queen. But anyway, what I was saying is that I have to get myself into the top 1% in the world who do the CrossFit Open. But I did manage to get into the top 5% last year. So this year, aiming for top 1%. Doable, but it's going to be tough. So, how am I prepping for Hyrox Men's Pro Singles? And it's called Men's Pro as opposed to the Men's Open division because the Men's Pro basically uses heavier weights. For example, the sled push is 200 kilos, I believe, as opposed to 152 kilos, and then the sled pull is heavier. For the farmer's carry, I think we have to use 2 32.5 kilo kettlebells rather than 24 kilos. The lunges are 30 kilos rather than 20 kilos, and the wall ball is 100 with 9 kilos rather than 100 with 6 kilos. I love doing Hyrox. It's been about 18 months since I've done one, but I do prefer doing CrossFit. And the only reason for that is because Hyrox is the same every time. And normally, anyone who does fitness, or not even do fitness, the only skill they really need to know for Hyrox is how to perform a wall ball. Everything else is quite low skill, so easy to enter for people, like I said, who aren't into fitness. But I prefer CrossFit just because of the higher skill level, all the different elements to it, and then in a competition, there's always something different for every single competition. You never know what's coming up. But with Hyrox, you can. So I can see why people like Hyrox, and I do enjoy it, doing it roughly 18 months, one at a time every 18 months. So last time when I did Hyrox, I think my PB is about 1 hour, 14, 21 seconds. And this time, I'd love to get below 114. I'd love to get below 110. I'm not doing any particular prep for it. I'm just continuing to train like I normally do, just because I love training. So on the morning of Hyrox, I will still train, but just take the intensity a bit lower, as my race is going to be in the evening, roughly 7:30 or 8 p.m. in the evening. And I don't mind that, but the way that I get fired up for something like this, obviously some music, but for my body, I find that caffeine and with some high sugar like a banana or some chocolate or a combination of them really helps to get me alert and get me ready. So instant coffee, as well as chocolate and some banana or something, that's going to really help me. But I will have a lot of food during the day and probably stop having heavy meals at around 4 p.m. and then just have snacky, higher sugary foods, just so I don't feel too full for the race. But I do find complex carbohydrates hours and hours and hours before and loading up on them really helps me not to cramp and not fatigue during an event, which is about a 1 hour 15 minute long event. I find that a lot of time is made up on the run, so I'm hoping this time to maintain probably around 4 minutes and 30 seconds per kilometre, but that definitely gets difficult as you go on in the race, just because you're becoming more tired. I really don't want to break up the wall balls too many times. Once or twice, if I could do it unbroken, that would be amazing. And then just maintaining just about sub 4 minutes, about 3:50 to 4 minutes on the ski erg and on the rowing machine, and then burpee broad jumps, not being too slow at them, just trying to be really consistent and move quickly with them, because that's what's let me down before. And I've got a new pair of running trainers which are quite bouncy. That's certainly going to help me, rather than wearing some trainers that are really old and don't have much tread to them anymore. Albert, speaking from experience in the past, and crashing down and not doing very well at all. I think that's when I got a 1 hour 18 time, because I just didn't wear the correct pair of running trainers. And then with the sled pull, making sure you chalk up a lot and try and just be consistent and not rest too long. I find that sometimes on the first lap back into the kilometres for the runs is when I like to do recovery, but I really want to try and go out hot and stay hot and just see what happens. But most of all, I'm just going to have some fun because I like Hyrox, and there's many people there who I train, I see in my classes that I do and do personal training with, who are going to be doing it, and that's going to be brilliant. And I'm also seeing some relatives at the weekend, so it's just going to be a bit of fun. But if you're interested in any CrossFit competitions or Hyrox to enter and you're not sure how to do it, let me know. I can help you sign up, because they are good fun to do and nice to have something to aim for with your training. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching the video. I look forward to seeing you in my next one.